17K, what the
Wow.
capabilities are for that, it seems like you
Yeah.
would be doing it to get multiple angles in a shot almost all the time. Like tell
So
me if
yeah,
the
right.
purpose of that, what's the meaning of this, Bob?
Right. So 17K is really, so there's a few things. One is you want to shoot an IMAX film, you know, you're going to be able to get you're going to be able to overshoot for that for
Mhm.
65 mil, right? So that's one. Everybody that's doing virtual productions now where they're shooting in front of an LED wall and they're putting images behind the actors so they actually have something to look at instead of a green screen, they need to put in the highest resolution images they can put behind them. So shooting VFX plates in 17K are really going to help there. But also, yes, as you say, you can shoot 17K. I forget how many. I think it's probably 15 4K images you could pull out of a 17K thing without actually denigrating it.
Mhm.
So yeah, you could shoot a whole, you could shoot. Well, I'll tell you the one thing I think is funny is that you shoot wildlife stuff. You don't have to get so close. So, we might lose less camera people because you're like, that's fine. We'll shoot at 17K from a distance and we'll be able to get
Mhm.
whatever we want out of this. So there are definite advantages for why you would do it, but it's also going to be able to shoot the other Ks as needed. Um, but this sensor is just out of this world. But it's addressing a certain segment of the market. Not everybody needs to do that, obviously, but it's also a way for us to show people that we're not finished. But eventually, the immersive camera will have the ability to do 8K in each eye. Well, that's how you get that's how you get that.
Mhm.
17K split in half is 8K each. So those are some of the reasons why it's there. But even when we introduced the original 12K camera before the new full sensor one, that one people say, why would I need that? But then VFX guys were shooting the plates. Some people were shooting run and gun and then stabilizing in resolve so it looked like they had a steady cam
Mhm.
on the whole thing. So that's
Yep.
another thing you can do. So
No, we just
there's
talked to a
there's
cinematographer who was doing like shooting basically at a higher resolution with an 18 millimeter lens, handheld undersling, like, and they needed that extra size so that they could have some options instead of like, if they had a great shot, but it was a little wonky, they could figure it out. I mean, I'm waiting like, when is it going to be essentially like an LED Thunderdome with
Mhm.
cameras that are sort of arranged around so that you're getting everything that you could possibly want. And you can use AI tools to do a zoom in or a dolly in or get your coverage. Basically, you're acting as if it were a piece of theater in a way, but you can put everything that you want in there and get any angle and any piece of coverage you want and I mean, not that those decisions shouldn't be made or be acknowledged prior to the fact, but why would you don't, you have the option to do almost anything you want after the fact. How far off could that possibly be?
Well, and I think where like even the immersive technology is basically people trying to figure out how to shoot 3D-ish by putting two cameras together or whatever. And then so now this new camera all in one body, because that's the other thing. When you have two cameras that you're trying to align, as those that have tried in the past, it's never going to be exactly the way you want it. So that's where these higher resolutions give us more options. And if you think of like the sphere or something like that, this immersive thing might work pretty well if you get 180 degree and then you can turn it into 360. I don't know. There's a lot of things we could be doing, and I look forward to seeing what people do with it. And I think that's one of the things that Grant Petty, our CEO, says all the time. He says, "I love when we give people tools and then they come back with stuff that we didn't even think about doing because that's really what it's all about. Here's a tool, go, do something cool with it," and then they do.